Did you know that African citizens have paid billions in visa fees to Europe and the UK, only to get rejected without explanation, refund, or justice? Well, that's no longer going to be swept under the rug. In a historic diplomatic firestorm, Zambia's President Hakainde Hichilema has done the unthinkable, calling on the UK and EU to refund Africa for decades of what some now call legalized extortion. And guess who's backing this bold move? Burkina Faso's Captain Ibrahim Traoré, whose latest exposé has rocked global diplomacy. For years, Africans have been quietly paying non-refundable visa fees to embassies in London, Paris, Berlin, fees that cost anywhere from $100 to $300, for a mere chance at visiting or studying in Europe. Most never even got a response. Others were denied, sometimes without an interview, without clear reason, and without a refund. It's a process that has collected billions from African families, often the poorest among us, with no transparency, no accountability. Until now, President Hichilema has called this out for what it is: a scam, a systematic, exploitative cycle where African hopes are turned into Western profit. Standing before the African Union, Hichilema demanded that European countries refund the money collected from denied African applicants over the past decade. This is not a request. This is a formal diplomatic demand. He said, quote, "You cannot take our people's money, refuse them entry, and walk away with both the cash and our dignity." This caught European diplomats off guard. No one expected Zambia, historically diplomatic and reserved, to fire the first real financial demand in this long-standing injustice. But what really shocked global observers was who backed him immediately: Captain Ibrahim Traoré. In his own televised address, Traoré didn't just support Zambia's demand. He exposed something even deeper. According to him, Western visa policies are part of a bigger neocolonial control strategy, one designed to drain money from the global south, limit African mobility, and maintain power imbalances by design. He accused European governments of using visa systems to create psychological borders that keep Africans mentally and physically dependent. And here's the kicker. Traoré revealed internal data showing that over 70% of visa revenue from African countries goes into private contractors and offshore systems, not the states that issue them. In short, Africans are funding European private companies for a system that denies them dignity. This isn't just a diplomatic spat. It's a viral social justice issue. On TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, the African youth are responding with rage, receipts, and resistance. Hashtags like #VisaRefundNow, #AfricanMoneyMatters, and #StopTheScam are trending across platforms. Popular creators are sharing heartbreaking stories of visa rejection after spending entire life savings, students losing scholarships because embassies delayed processing, families paying multiple times and still getting denied. The people have had enough. And now, African leadership is catching up with public anger. In London, the UK Foreign Office is reportedly in emergency consultations. In Brussels, EU officials have released statements calling Zambia's remarks regrettable. But there's fear. Fear that other African nations, Nigeria, Ghana, South Africa, Kenya, may follow Zambia's lead and demand accountability. Already, Zimbabwe's President Mnangagwa and Mali's interim government have expressed support for an AU-wide audit of visa practices. Some Western media outlets are attempting to dismiss this as populist posturing. But the truth is clear: the world is watching. If you're African, this moment is about more than visas. It's about justice. It's about how systems built to serve some have been quietly bleeding the rest. It's about demanding respect, transparency, and dignity in how Africa is treated on the global stage. Whether you're a student, a traveler, or just someone proud of being African, this issue touches your sovereignty. And whether you support Traoré or not, one thing is certain: he is unafraid to say what many only whisper. This isn't just a Zambian or Burkinabe issue. This is a Pan-African moment. The African Union has now quietly launched a committee to explore legal actions on behalf of African citizens scammed through the visa process. And youth groups are mobilizing to collect data, testimonies, and evidence from across the continent. Africa is no longer just rising. Africa is reclaiming voice, reclaiming dignity, reclaiming the money and futures stolen in silence. What will Europe and the UK do? Will they apologize, refund, reform the system, or will they double down? One thing's for sure, the silence is over. President Hichilema lit the match. Captain Traore poured the fuel. And now, the fire of accountability is burning across Africa. Stay tuned, subscribe, and don't forget to comment. Should Europe and the UK refund Africa's rejected visa applicants?
Welcome to African Spotlight 24, your premier source for news and current affairs from across the continent. We're glad you're here. If you're new to our channel, please subscribe, like, and turn on notification to stay up to date with the latest news and analysis. Your support helps us reach more people. Disclaimer: the content of this video is based on credible, publicly available information and is intended for educational, analytical, and informational purposes only. African Spotlight 24 does not promote hate, violence, misinformation, or political unrest. Our goal is to deliver thoughtful insights, highlight local voices, and encourage informed conversations throughout Africa.
Breaking news: Zambia has dared to dream big and is now demanding billions of dollars that are owed to it by the British government. This is huge news, and we will tell you everything about it in today's episode. You see, the United Kingdom government has had its fair share of controversies when it comes to dealing with Africa. One of the most recent and shocking of these controversies was exposed by none other than the current president of Zambia, Hakainde Hichilema. But President Hakainde Hichilema is not having it. He has vowed to fight for justice for all Africans who have been scammed by the UK government and is demanding that the UK government pays back all the money it has collected from visa applicants who are never issued visas. He believes that this is the only way to make up for the years of exploitation and abuse that Africans have suffered at the hands of the UK government. Despite being a small country, Zambia is standing up to the might of the United Kingdom and demanding what is rightfully theirs. Their citizens have been subjected to harsh visa regulations, arbitrary detentions, and even deportations without any recourse to justice. They want to be treated with the dignity and respect that they deserve as a sovereign nation. It is a long overdue demand that has been ignored for far too long. The UK government has exploited Zambia and other African countries for their natural resources while denying their citizens the right to travel to the UK for education, business, or even leisure. They are ready to fight for the rights of their citizens, and they are not afraid to take on a powerful government like the UK's. They want to show other African countries that they do and have to put up with the UK's exploitative policies and that they can stand up for their rights. It is a brave move that has left many people in awe and has set a great example for other African countries to follow. They want to show other African countries that they do and have to put up with the UK's exploitative policies and that they can stand up for their rights. They have filed a lawsuit against the UK government and are demanding that they pay back all the money they have collected from visa applicants who were never issued visas. They are standing up for what is right, and they are demanding compensation for the suffering inflicted on their citizens. It is a brave move that has left many people in awe and has set a great example for other African countries to follow. They are committed to fighting for justice for their citizens, and they are not afraid to take on the mighty UK government. They know that it will not be easy, but they are determined to succeed. The UK government is in a difficult position, and they will have to come up with a solution soon. They can't keep ignoring Zambia's demands forever. The Zambian government is a beacon of hope for Africans everywhere. We would love to hear your opinion. Also, please like this video, comment below, and share with friends and family so they can equally benefit from this life-changing information. Thank you for watching. Catch you in the next video. They are showing us that we don't have to sit back and accept injustice. We can fight for what is right and we can win. The Zambian government is also calling on other African countries to do the same and is encouraging them to unite and fight for their rights together. They know that the UK government is powerful and that it will not be easy to take them on alone. They want to show other African countries that they do and have to put up with the UK's exploitative policies and that they can stand up for their rights. But they are confident that if African countries unite, they can stand a better chance. He said, "We cannot accept a situation where our people are treated like criminals and denied the opportunity to travel to the UK for legitimate reasons." The Zambian government is not letting go of this issue, and they are determined to get what is rightfully theirs. They know that this is a long and hard fight, but they are committed to seeing it through. We will not hesitate to take all necessary measures to protect the rights and interests of our citizens. President Hakandi's strong stance on the issue has sent a shockwave through the UK government and has put them on the defensive. They have been forced to respond to the Zambian government's demands and have promised to investigate the matter further. But enough is enough. They are not willing to wait any longer for justice to be served. The Zambian government is seeking compensation for the damages done to its citizens by the British government's visa policies. It is a bold move that has shocked the world and has left many people wondering if other African countries will follow suit. President Hakandi revealed how the UK government has been scamming Africans for years through its visa process. He wants the UK government to be held responsible for the suffering that its citizens have caused and to ensure that such abuse of power never happens again. This is a true story of courage, justice, and the fight for equality. His bravery in taking on such a powerful government is an inspiration to all Africans who have been victims of the UK's exploitative policies. According to him, the UK government has been collecting billions of dollars from Africans under the guise of processing their visa applications, but they never end up issuing the visas. Make sure you watch this video to the end because every information provided here is important. The company, which was responsible for processing visa applications in several African countries, was accused of pocketing millions of dollars from unsuspecting applicants without issuing them visas, or even giving them a clear explanation as to why their applications were rejected. This revelation came as a shock to many Africans who had applied for UK visas through the company and never heard back from the British High Commission. They had no idea that the company was simply pocketing their money and doing nothing to process their applications. And also, please like this video, comment below and share with friends and family so they can equally benefit from this life-changing information. Without taking much of your time, let's get straight into the news. Zambia has dared to dream big and is now demanding billions of dollars that are owed to it by the British government. For many years, the British government has been owing Zambia money that it was supposed to pay back to the Zambian government. However, the British government has continuously refused to pay this money to the Zambian government. Well, no more, as Zambia has dared to dream big and is now demanding what belongs to them. But first things first, let us go back to history to understand why Zambia is demanding these billions of dollars from the United Kingdom. It all came to light when one of the UK's biggest visa outsourcing companies was caught up in a major scandal. In fact, the UK government has been trying to sweep this issue under the rug by claiming that it is not their problem and that the company acted on its own. President Hakandi's fight for justice is not only about getting back the money that was scammed from Africans, but it is also about holding the UK government accountable for its actions. As the world watches this saga unfolds, one thing is clear: President Hakandi is not backing down until he gets justice for all Africans who have been scammed by the UK government. Now, here is where things get interesting. You see, for years, Zambia and other African countries have been treated as second-class citizens by the UK government. The Zambian government is taking a stand and demanding compensation for the suffering inflicted on its people. In a recent speech, Zambian President Hakainde Hichilema called out the UK government for its exploitative visa policies and demanded compensation for the damages done to its citizens. But the Zambian government is not buying their excuses. They want concrete action to be taken, and they want it to happen fast. As the world watches, the Zambian government's battle with the UK government intensifies. It is clear that Zambia is not afraid to stand up for what is right. The Zambian government's fight for justice is not just about getting compensation for its citizens, but it is also about setting a precedent for other African governments to follow. One of the ways that the Zambian government is seeking compensation is through the UK's High Court. The Zambian government's fight for justice is not just about getting compensation for its citizens, but it is also about setting a precedent for other African countries to follow. The Zambian government's fight for justice is a long and hard one, but they are committed to seeing it through. The UK government may be powerful, but the Zambian government is not afraid to take them on. The Zambian government's fight for justice is not just about getting compensation for its citizens, but it is also about setting a precedent for other African countries to follow. As the world watches this saga unfold, one thing is clear: the Zambian government is not backing down. That brings us to the present day. Zambia is still demanding the billions of dollars that are owed to it by the United Kingdom. The UK government is facing pressure from all sides to pay back the money that they owe to Zambia. So, what will the UK government do? Will they pay back the money they owe to Zambia, or will they continue to ignore Zambia's demands? Only time will tell. What do you think? Should the UK government pay back the money it owes to Zambia? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below.